Hi guys, we're continuing with my cell biology, life science in a nutshell notes. We were learning about cell membranes. So this is showing the cell membrane, the phospholipid bilayer, hydrophilic part on the exterior of the cell and on the cytoplasmic side of the cell, and the two facing molecules form this bilayer, and the hydrophobic tails, fatty acid tails, face the interior, and embedded inside the bilayer we have proteins which help transport polar and large sized molecules such as glucose and amino acids across these transporters, and also polar ions across these channels. So they transport different molecules from intercellular or inside the cell and to the extracellular part of the cell, the outside. We also have proteins that bind enzymes and change the shape of molecules in order to pass messages from the outside to the inside of the cell, controlling various functions of the cell. Or the receptors. Okay, Ruben, say hi.
Hello.
Ruben's gonna read for us. Go ahead. Peripheral proteins.
Peripheral membrane proteins are associated with the membrane but are not inserted into the bilayer. Rather, they are usually bound to other proteins in the membrane. Some peripheral proteins form a filamentous network just under the membrane that provides attachment sites for transmembrane proteins. Other peripheral peripheral proteins are secreted by the cell and form an extracellular matrix that functions in cell recognition. Diversity of cell membranes, in contrast to prokaryotes, eukaryotic cells have not only a plasma membrane that encases the entire cell, but also intercellular membranes that surround plasma membrane
that surround various organelles. They're
organelles.
They're intracellular, meaning inside the cell.
Inside cells, the plasma membrane is part of an extensive endomembrane system that includes the endoplasmic reticulum, the nuclear membrane, the Golgi endomembrane system in an organized fashion. For instance, the membranes of the ER and the Golgi apparatus have different compositions, and the proteins that are found in these membranes contain sorting signals, which are like molecular zip codes that specify their final destination.
Okay, so different molecules or go through different membranes are translocated to different spots within the cell. Right. right. So go ahead.
Mitochondria,
Mitochondria.
mi- mitochondria, and chloroplasts are also surrounded by membranes, but they have unusual membrane structures. Specifically, each of these organelles has two surrounding membranes instead of just one. The outer membrane of mitochondria chloroplasts have pores that allow small molecules to pass easily. The inner membrane is loaded with the proteins that make up the electron transport chain and help generate energy for the cell. The double membrane enclosures of mitochondria and chloroplast are similar to certain modern day prokaryotes. Prokaryotes and
Prokaryotes.
outer membrane.
So they have an inner membrane for smaller molecules and outer membrane for smaller molecules. Inner membrane has proteins making up electron transport chain and generating energy for the cell. So mitochondria and chloroplasts have double membranes and are somewhat similar to prokaryotes, showing that they have evolutionary relationship, that eukaryotic cells rose from prokaryotic cells. So diagram showing mitochondria, chloroplasts with their double membranes. There's also cell wall, cell membrane, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, nuclear membrane, nucleus, nucleolus. Nucleolus contains the chromosomes. Vacuole vacuoles and chloroplasts are only found in plant cells. Then cytoplasm. So plant cells. We may have seen these diagrams earlier. So membranes, again, they're made of lipids, proteins, serving a variety of barrier functions for cells and intracellular organelles. Membranes keep inside out, inside in, outside out, allowing certain molecules to cross, relaying messages via a chain of molecular events. They not only separate interior of cell from environment, but define internal components, such as the different organelles and the nucleus are separated by membranes. So the properties of lipids and their associated proteins define these membranes and bilayer of the membrane. That's the structural organization of membranes. They're responsible for specialized functions, acting as receptors, allowing cells to respond to external signals. They are also they allow for transport of molecules across membranes. So also electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation occurs at the membrane. In addition, membrane proteins control interactions between cells. If you have a tissue with multiple cells, the inner membrane of mitochondria contains an unusually high fraction of proteins, which is 75%, reflecting the abundance of protein complexes involved in electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation in mitochondria. The lipid composition of different cell membranes also varies. Plasma membrane of E. coli consists predominantly of phosphatidylethylamine, constituting 80% of the total lipids. Mammalian plasma membranes are complex, in comparison, containing four major phospholipids: phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylserine, phosphatidyl